Hey champ, damn you look good. And welcome back to the channel. This is How to Drum and Bass, where it is my mission to deconstruct what the top drum and bass artists are doing and to teach it to you so that you can improve your drum and bass production. And today I want to talk just very briefly about a little trick that you can use to make your transitions between different parts of your track more interesting and how to add a lot more exciting anticipation to those transitions and also potentially before the drop. And there's probably many different names for this, but from what I learned, this is called the reverse reverb. And it's something that gets used a lot in professional tracks. It gets used in a lot of tracks that you probably already like, but you might just not realize because it's something that hides really nicely and that's not very noticeable until you take it away. And then you realize how much anticipation and excitement it adds to the track. So I'm gonna show you what I mean, and then we're gonna dive in how to recreate the same effect in Ableton. All right, so let's quickly walk through a couple of tracks, and a really good sort of exaggerated example of this technique is, for example, in this song. And so this one would be Hurt Me Too from Bishu, which, oh, by the way, is a fucking beautiful song. If you don't know it, check it out. What you're gonna hear is that before the vocal kicks in, there's gonna be sort of like a vocal riser coming up to it that sort of introduces it so that the vocal gradually comes in, or at least not just all of a sudden. And this one is very exaggerated, but there's a couple more that you can hear it a little bit more subtle. Right, so that na before the vocal again. So that kind of introduces the vocal, and this one's also got some panning effect, which is also very cool. Once again, super sick song, go listen to it. Another example actually is Ready to Fly. So that one sounds like there's also a riser with it, but there's also this reverse reverb on the vocal. And then also later in the song they do the same thing, but then with the main lead, they're boop, boop, boop. So you hear just before that real note hits, so not the stuff at the beginning, not the that's sort of softer, but just before that real notes hit, you can hear it's okay, that sounded retarded, but it's a reverse reverb of that first hit of the lead. And then another example is here in Wilkinson's If You Want It. You can also hear it sort of rising up to the vocal. It's like, again, like a vocal riser. There we go. So how do we do this? Well, let's dive into Ableton. All right, so we are currently in my recreation of Selecta by Chase and Status, which is almost finished and which is going to be released on this channel very soon. So if you're not subscribed, go and hit it. Here, I think. There, I don't know. Subscribe. And you can see here that I've already created it, and I'm just going to make you listen to the difference, because this is the transition from one section to the next. And I'm choosing to show this one specifically because there's a very powerful guitar sound coming in, and we want to do as much as possible to make that transition very powerful and with anticipation. So without that bass reverb on it, it sounds like this. You say anytime you woke up in a chase and status, you better remember this bumbo clock. Chase and status. Circle the block. Come through, and all block. So that's already okay, and of course we have a white noise here, and we have a reversed explosion, and we have like a little crash cymbal as soon as it hits. That's good, but you can still hear that it doesn't sound professional yet. It's missing something, and that thing in this case is really the reverse reverb. So with the reverse reverb, it sounds like this, and you'll notice immediately that it's way more powerful. You say anytime you woke up in a chase and status, you better remember this bumbo clock. Circle the block. Come through, and all block. Anyway, you can hear that it creates a sort of a rumble that comes upwards. If I solo it, it sounds like this. So that's very epic, right? And actually, this is very simple to make. You just need to know how to do it. So let's delete this one, and let's see how we can go about doing this. So the guitar that's going to come in, that's what we want to use for this reverb. And I've got here 2 electric guitar patches that are in this guitar group. So this guitar group makes the whole sound, right? That's this essentially. All right, so what we want to do is we want to take that first note, so this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and select everything that's not this first note, and we're just going to deactivate it. So you can press 0 actually on Ableton so that we just get this. And what we want to do is we want to record the reverb of this, and then we're going to use that in a minute. So there's already quite a long tail on this, but just for the sake of it, we're going to make a really big and long one. So we're going to go into the reverb, right? That's in this group here. And we're going to go and say, we want like a long decay, let's say like 7 seconds or something. And then let's go for, I don't know, like 50% mix or something. So like a big reverb, right? So let's see how that sounds real quick. Yeah, that's nice. And so then what we're going to do is we're going to create an audio channel. In this case, this bass reverb channel that I've already got, it's an audio channel, but you can just go and insert audio track. And what we're going to do is here, you can select the input, and we're going to put that on the guitar group because we want to record everything that comes out of that group, including that reverb, right? And then when you press this little button over here, that means that it will record. It's armed. It will record whatever you play as soon as you hit this record button. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to place the cursor thing, whatever it's called here, and we're going to hit record. And then stop recording. So now you see what we've got here is beautiful. If we solo it, it's just this hit and then the reverb tail. And so what we want to do, you can see that this is the initial hit. So we're going to select that area here, and we are going to delete it so that we just have this one. And now we've just got the reverb tail. So all we got to do now, this is a nice long one, is we got to press R to reverse it. And then we're going to place that before this drop. And we want to make sure to take this automation away so we can make sure it doesn't crossfade because we want it to go directly in there. And what this is going to do is it's going to feed this reversed reverb tail into the start of the real sound. So we're going to go back and we're going to activate these clips again because obviously we need them in the rest of the song. And we're going to go back to our guitar group and just put this reverb back to where it belongs, which is about like, I don't know, 4 seconds. And we're going to see if this has enough volume. Just by seeing it, I think we might want to add a little bit of volume, but you'll have to see for yourself and listen because sometimes it can be too loud. You want the end volume here to be approximately the same or slightly below the actual first hit of the guitar so that it sort of transitions really nicely and there's not a big volume difference. So we're just going to add, let's say, 3 decibels here, sort of see how that goes. And yeah, let's listen to what we've got now. Good. And so, yeah, we can put that back in context here and see how that turned out, right? So let's see. It could potentially be even louder. All right. So that definitely makes things a lot better, and it's a simple trick, but it's really one of those things that makes the difference between a professionally produced track and something that's not. And the best thing is you can do this with anything. It works really well on vocals. It works really well on leads. It works very well before the first hit of a drop. You can basically use these reverse reverbs to make, let's call them maybe vocal risers or tonal risers or something like that. Just a very neat creative trick. Yeah, right. So that was the video today. Just a short one. I hope it helped. I hope it was informative. What are your tricks to make things a little bit more spicy and a little bit more and add more anticipation to your drops? Let us know in the comments below so that the other people that are watching this can learn from you. And also tell me what you want to see next because I am itching to know what I could do for you. All right. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.